Okay, so 10 ollies or less per session. Regardless of what I do in the day, every time I go out on the skateboard I've got to do 10 ollies to work on getting them a bit further, a bit faster or a bit higher, one of the three. You're not going to see every clip, but I'm just going to show you 10 of them minimum. I can do. So yeah, I've been working on my ollies, trying to improve them and trying to get them a bit nicer. Generally speaking, I think my issue is more to do with my back leg and my back leg not coming up high enough and my front leg not pushing forward enough. So here is just a few of my examples of my 10 ollies every session. Again, not all of these are from the exact same session, but they're from just ones each time I've gone. The goal is to do 10 ollies each session to improve. So here I'm starting to get them moving a bit, let them travel forwards. I've got a really big problem as well with my shoulder. As I ollie, my shoulder comes out, which pulls my upper body round. It pulls my foot and my leg away from the board a bit, and then I lose confidence in putting my foot down, or I do it too early and I turn the direction of the board, sort of you would do like an ollie 180 or something, or maybe on a bank or a hip to get it around the right way, but I'm not at that level with my ollies, so putting that in is a bit silly. Over here I start to get down a bit better, start to get the feel of letting the board come up a bit more. Still not consistently, but at least over a crack and things. The back wheels are coming up, not all the time. Like that was poor, that was poor, that was poor, that off. Can't get it over the right in. Back wheels come up a bit, so I know that I'm getting the position right, and I'm getting a few without a proper pop. So every now and again, I think it's because the tail's so arched on my board that I can pop the board a little bit, but without getting that like smack noise from the back of the tail of the board. But yeah, I'm quite flat-footed with my ollies, so I'm just pushing flat down as well, which isn't giving me a nice enough lift. Yeah, it's just getting there slowly. It's just repetition and practice. So I'm trying to use my toe more, right in the centre of the back of the board. Trying to lift the chest up a bit more, but I end up watching my front feet and not getting where I want to go. So a little bit of sports analysis on the ollie so far. This is definitely the two best clips I've had of my ollie. So there's Andrew front side on the right hand side and Andrew backside on the left hand side. I feel on the right image I was going a bit faster, a bit of a better pace into my ollie. So that obviously gives you more momentum to drag through and pop. I feel my foot's in a better position. I feel I'm a little too over the toes, which I want to be more toes on the board than I have been. I've been quite flat, but instead of being like toes in the centre pushing just on the toes, I'm still quite flat, heel right down on left hand Andrew. Foot position, front of the foot is about the same. I feel Andrew on the right hand side has got a nicer balance. From the look of the board it's a lot more flat, so the ollie's going to carry on going in a nice straight line, where I think Andrew on the left is maybe a little bit too far toe side, so the board's going to rotate a little bit there. Chest position isn't too bad, keeping most of the weight over the board. Again, Andrew on the left is probably leaning a bit too far forward onto the toes, maybe the weight's not through the centre of the board, where Andrew on the right is a lot more balanced in front, so I feel that's a nicer position to be in and to carry through the weight of what I'm trying to achieve. Now looking at the pop side of things, Andrew left, arms behind me a bit more, so he's trying to pull the board back the right way round perhaps. My back foot's come off the board, not particularly level. My knee and my shoulder are in line with the nose and the front truck and front wheels on the board, so there's nothing really pulling me forwards. Added with the slow momentum means I don't think I'm going to travel particularly far. Where I really want to be pushing forward, getting my knee and shoulder in front of the board along with the momentum, which Andrew on the right is doing a bit better. You can see my shoulder line is past the front truck and my knee is over the front truck, pushing the board forwards. Again, I've lost the back foot a little bit. That leg should now be sort of, after the pop, jumping and pulling up a lot more into the chest. I'm just leaving it hanging behind. There's no tension on that half of the body. I'm trying to get the leg to come up and into the chest a bit more. I'll probably do that with the front leg as well, leading the board up and pulling out with my foot. The foot slide position on both are quite nice. I think I've got that down quite nicely. But it needs to come up more and push forwards and use the momentum of travelling, which static training is good. You know, it gives you the idea and the feel for the move, but it doesn't give you the directional push. So that's what that looks like there. Following that onto the levelling out part of the ollie. Again, Andrew left hasn't really brought the foot forwards to get the board to level out and go, directional. Andrew right hasn't done much better, but the board has been pushed forwards a bit more. Again, I need to bring that back foot right up into the chest and get that front foot going forwards to help put the nose level to come down on it a bit more. But Andrew right is definitely the best ollie I've done in a while. The height's quite nice, the board coming up is quite good, but there's just not that additional leg positioning to get it down. I should really be looking forward a bit more for the direction I want to go. Skull's the heaviest bone in the body, wherever it looks you go, so I should be looking where I want to land a bit more. I feel like I'm looking straight down at my front foot still. Shoulder positioning, again, my right shoulder on Andrew on the right is pulling back a bit. I want to keep it in line with the body. So my left arm's doing okay, it's keeping it going in line, but Andrew front arm is doing a bad job.